In this lesson we are going to be learning about odds. Odds, when you hear odds for like the betting, like say the Super Bowl, the odds of some team winning over another, they're often going to say the number of successes to the numbers of failures. So if they're saying the odds for something, that's successes to failures. If they're saying the odds against something happening, they list the failures first and then the successes. The biggest thing here is that we're used to listing a total whenever we do probability, how many out of the total, and there's no total in odds. Odds, when you add the numbers together, they make the total. So let's just start practicing so you can see what we talk about. In number 1, it says a bag contains 5 green marbles, 2 yellow marbles, and 3 blue marbles. So I'm going to start by saying we have a total of 10 marbles, right? They want to know the odds of drawing a green marble. So we're going to say the odds would be the number of green is our first number, and then our second number is not green. How many are not green? So the number of green we have are 5, so our odds are 5, and then how many of our marbles are not green? That'd be our failures. We have 5 marbles that aren't green. So we would reduce that and say that our odds are 1 to 1. 1 to 1 odds. Now in probability that'd be different, but we're saying the odds are 1 to 1. Number of successes and number of failures. So the odds against drawing a yellow marble. First thing we're going to do then is our first number is not yellow. How many choices do we have that are not yellow? Because we're doing the failures. And then the successes would be yellow. So not yellow, I have 2 yellow, so that's going to go right here. And not yellow, that means I have 8. So I would then reduce that and say that I have 4 to 1 odds. Hopefully that's making sense. The last one then says the probability of drawing a blue marble. Probability now, how many blue marbles do I have? I have 3. And then since it's probability, we do the total down here. So 3/10 is my probability. Number of blue, and then total number. What I want you to notice about my odds is that each time they've added up to 10, which is my total. 5 plus 5, 8 plus 2. So if you add your odds together, they equal your total. If they ever ask for probability, though, you have to give the total. So that's the difference. Number 2 here, it says a pair of 6-sided fair die are rolled. Find the odds of rolling an even sum. So here I have all the different options listed for you on how you could roll and get 2 die for a 6-sided fair die. So 2 are rolled. You can get a 1 and a 1, a 1 and a 2, 1 and a 3, 1 and a 4, 1 and a 5. Then you go with all the 2s, 3s, 4s. And then in purple here I have the sums written. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 1 plus 3 is 4, and you can see as you go across, if you add those 2 digits up, that's what the number in purple is. So they said the odds of rolling an even sum. So I'm looking for even purple numbers. So total here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6, so there's 36 total sums here. All my evens I'm going to look at. I'm just circling even purple numbers. See the little pattern we got going on here, hopefully? So when I look through all of those, it looks like I have 18 evens, which would make sense if you look at the pattern. So I have the odds of rolling an even, so my number of successes. So my number of evens is my first, and then my not evens, so it'd be my failure, otherwise known as odds, right? So I have 18 that were even, which means I have 18 that were not even. So my odds are 1 to 1. Now I'll erase this so we can use it for the next one. Letter B says the odds of not rolling the sum of 7. So odds of not rolling the sum of 7. Oops, next screen, how about? Not rolling the sum of 7. So my first one, I'm just going to put this answer up here so you can see better. Here's my odds. So my first one would be not a sum of 7. And then my second one would be sum of 7. So I'm just going to look at how many I have that have a sum of 7. If you see, that kind of takes care of this right here. These are all my sums of 7. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 that are a sum of 7, which out of the 36 total means there's 30 that are not. So when I simplify those odds, I'd say it's a 5 to 1 ratio. 5 to 1 odds that I rolled a 7, or of not rolling a sum of 7. Number 3, then it says the odds of rolling neither an even sum nor a sum greater than 10. So for the odds here, this one's going to be not even or greater than 10. This one's going to be even or less than 10. So to find my numbers that are even or less than 10, I'm going to count all of them out. So even numbers or less than 10, or how about, I'm going to go with the not even or greater than 10. Right, so which numbers are not even or greater than 10? So all the not evens would be all my odds, right? Now that's my not evens. Now how about the greater than 10s? So here I have 18 total, but which one, are any of these greater than 10? Yes, these two right here. So I'm going to erase those. So those two don't count because they are greater than 10. Even though they're odd, they're greater than 10. So when I look at my rolling an even, not even, or greater than 10, it can't be either one of those, I only have 16 choices here. I had 18 and then I took away the 2. So then out of my 36, that means I have 20 left. So when I reduce that ratio, I have a 4 to 5. My odds are 4 to 5 of rolling neither an even sum nor sum greater than 10. On the back side then it says the state of Florida has a Fantasy 5 drawing 3 times a week in which 5 numbers out of 39 are drawn at random. The proceeds from the lottery help finance education in the state. So what are the odds of winning the Fantasy 5 jackpot? Well, first I have to figure out how many total outcomes I have, right? How many different options are there for winning? So I think that it doesn't say anything about these numbers, the order the numbers are mattering, does it? 3 times a week in which 5 numbers out of 39 are drawn at random. So it sounds like the order doesn't matter here for the numbers, so I'm going to call this a combination problem. So I'm going to do a C, and since there's 39 numbers to pick from and I have to pick 5, I need to find out how many options I have here before I can do the odds. So I'm going to go onto my calculator and do 39C5. And it looks like I have 575,757 options. So I'm going to put that up here. So this is how many total I have, total outcomes. So what are the odds of winning the Fantasy 5 jackpot? Well, how many of those 575 options do I have that are winners? There's just one winner, right? I choose the right 5 numbers. I have one chance to be the winner. So how many chances do I have to be the loser? Well, I'm going to take one away from that total. So I have 575,756 ways to be the loser. So my odds of winning the Fantasy 5 jackpot in Florida are 1 to 575,756. You see that a lot with like Powerball. Odds of winning are 1 in a million. You can see that sometimes, so that's what they're talking about there. And the second one says, what is the probability of losing the jackpot? Probability now, so we're going to go over the total, so my total number goes in the bottom. And the number of people who lose, we said, was everyone but 1, right? So there's my probability of losing. If I actually divide that out, I would say I have a pretty good chance of losing, right? So now we'll keep going. The odds of winning are 6 to 7. Fine. So this is the number of winners, and this is the chance of losers. So number of successes to failures. Winners, losers. So the probability of winning. The probability of winning, I have 6 chances to win out of how many total? Well, my total here is 13. 6 plus 7. So when I'm talking probability, I'm going to go number of wins over the total. So my probability is 6/13. How about my probability of losing? Well, then I'm just going to flip that and I'm going to say that's 7 out of 13 because I put my losing on top. What are the odds of losing? My odds of losing are going to be losing first. So 7. I have 7 chances to lose and I have 6 chances to win. So I just flip that around. Since the odds of winning were 6 to 7, the odds of losing are 7 to 6. Number 5, the probability of winning is 1 to 3. So this is my win. This is my lose. So I want you guys to fill out these 3, pause the video, and then come back and see if you got the right answers. So my probability of losing, since I have a total, my probability of winning, hold on a second. Let's do this again. Probability of winning, I was thinking this was reading 1 to 3. My probability of winning is 1/3. So this is my number of wins, and this is my total. Does that look better? So my total is 3, my number of wins is 1. So my probability of losing then would be 2, right? 3 minus 1. So I have a 2/3 chance of losing. The odds of losing would be 2 chances to lose. How many chances do I have of winning? 1. So I have 2 options for losing and 1 chance for winning. So it's a 2 to 1 odds, which then means the odds of winning is 1 to 2. So that's a different way than they gave me the probability first. Last one. The odds of being chosen for jury duty during the year are 1 to 296. If your company has 1,400 employees, how many would likely be chosen for jury duty in 1 year? So we're going to say how many of your 1,400 employees, there's our proportion, would be chosen for jury duty. What's the probability you're chosen for jury duty? Well, the probability would be 1 out of, so probability of being chosen, out of how many total? Remember, this isn't my total. I'd have to add the 1 to this, so it's 297 total outcomes. And then here I put my total employees. See how both have total in the denominator? So now to solve this equation, I'm going to multiply, cross multiply here. So I have 297x equals, and then I'm going to cross multiply here, 1,400. To get x by itself, I divide by 297. So I get x to be about 4.7 people. So we're not going to answer 4.7 people because we know you can't have 4.7 people. So we're going to say about 4 to 5 employees are expected to be chosen. Doesn't mean they are, but that's a good estimate if I'm the employer, especially wanting to know how many people would maybe be chosen for jury duty. Hopefully those make sense to you. You have a couple of objectives to go with that and a worksheet. If you have any questions, let me know.